respect for quality.
Oh my gosh, what'd you go do to yourself? Work out okay?
My name is Richard Gibeon. I was born in Montgomery, Alabama, 10/22/19, and I'm going to be 92 next Saturday. So I went through high school, and in 37 I entered Georgia Tech, graduated, was in the class of 41, didn't finish till February 42, and the war had started, and I volunteered for the cadet program. Got my wings in December 42, and against my wishes, I wanted to go to fighters. They made an instructor out of me, so I instructed for a little over a year at Eagle Pass, Texas. We called it Vulture's Gulch, and in AT-6s, and stayed there. What's the proper word? I bitched the whole time about not being able to get out and fight us. And finally, the order came through asking for fighters just before D-Day, and I volunteered, and ended up in England and with the 373rd Fighter Group. And after D-Day, we went to Beachhead Strip in Normandy. Then they transferred us to St. James and to Reims, France, and Louvain, Belgium, and then I ended up at Venlo, Holland, which was right on the German border. But we followed the troops and tried to ease up their problems. You know, we'd try to shoot the Germans that were holding them back, and we dive bombed everything from factories to airfields to bridges and trains, whatever. And P47 had 850 caliber machine guns, and if you hit something with those 8 machine guns, it was gone. A real powerful airplane. When I first saw it and first flew it, I thought, well, it's a clunker. But I found out it was easy to fly, and it wasn't a glamour-looking airplane like P51. But it turned out to be a first-class airplane. Loaded, it was about 14,000 pounds. Had a twin-row radial, 18-cylinder engine with 2,000 horsepower with water injection. Very poor runways, you know. Sometimes it was dirt, sometimes it was pierced planking, and they were always short. Go uphill for a while and downhill for a while. And if you were really loaded, you would get on the very end of the runway, you'd run up the engine full throttle, you'd punch water injection, you would just have the brakes on, of course. And as soon as you turn the brakes loose, you'd pop the tail up and hope the thing would get off the ground. And when you got off the ground, the end of the runway was right behind you. And you say, whew, that's the worst part of the trip. All we got to do now is fly a mission, see. Usually flew about 10,000 feet. And we pull up and roll over, try to go as near vertical down, straight down as you can, because you're harder to hit. You know, if you're coming down at a 45-degree angle, you make a pretty good target. But if you're coming straight down, you're not quite as easy for the flak to get you. Well, we did have some missions with 45 minutes. You know. I flew 87 missions. We were dive bombing a field in the Ruhr Valley, Cologne, I think. And anyhow, when I pulled out of my dive. It was a 190 coming down from above on me, and I finally got a little head of him and got some shots in his tail, and he did a snap roll. And when he came out in the snap roll, I was just looking in his cockpit. So it was just pulled the trigger and he was gone. That was the only dogfight I got in. But we did have some, I don't think we had any aces in the 373rd, but we had several people had 3 or 4 that got jumped on the mission. One day we were flying out of St. James, which is right at the base of the Cherbourg Peninsula, and the troops had gotten, Patton had taken a big advance. So what we did was we flew from Reims from St. James, and they would bomb us up there, and we'd go fly 2 or 3 missions and come back and then fly back to St. James. Well, on this one mission, we were the first airplanes to land there, and all these French people came out and handed us champagne and stuff like that. You know, I got 4 or 5 bottles, and I put it in this place and that place in the airplane. We flew to, we were getting ready to go back to the base, and the colonel comes in and says, we got to take off. He says, don't worry, we're not going to bomb up. Whatever ammunition you got, we got to go straight for a hill where some troops are holed up. So we took off and came back and landed. It was just about dark. And we it happened to be standing right by my airplane, and the colonel was there. Somebody said, you got anything to drink? I said, yeah, I got plenty of stuff in the airplane. Well, I got in the airplane and pulled out a bottle of champagne. We were standing there, and I twisted the wire one time, and the cork flew out and hit my commanding officer right between the eyes and drowned him, boy. And all us lieutenants, we just laid down on the ground laughing, you know.